Hello students, we are dealing with the important diseases of the silkworms. Last time we have explained about the protozoan disease pebrine of the silkworms and the fungal disease, that is muscardine, in the silkworms. Today we are going to explain the third type of disease, that is bacterial disease. The bacterial diseases in the silkworms is called as flacheri or bacterial flacheri, and this term flacheri refers to the flaccid or the transparent conditions of the silkworms suffering from dysentery. So the main symptom or main cause of the bacterial flacheri is the dysentery, and due to the dysentery type of symptoms, the larvae or silkworm becomes flaccid. It is subchronic disease, results basically due to the physiological disorders and secondarily by infection of the different type of bacteria. There are 7 different type of bacteria which are attacking or infecting the silkworm larvae and causing bacterial flacheri in the silkworms, and they are Aerobacter cholacea, Staphylococcus albus, Pseudomonas ovatis, Bacillus thuringiensis, Achromobacter superficialis, Escherichia frundi, Bacillus prodigious. So these are the 7 different type of bacteria which can infect the silkworm larvae and cause the bacterial flacheri. The bacterial disease commonly occurring in the silkworm larvae, or its infection found more in case of larvae than the adults. The bacterial flacheri or bacterial disease of the silkworm includes 3 kind of injury or the bacterial diseases such as Sotto disease, septicemia, and Rangi disease in the silkworms. These 3 type of bacterial diseases causing heavy loss or toll of the silkworm crop, and this happens usually under high humidity of the surrounding conditions. So the prevalence or the infection of the bacterial disease is found in the areas where there is a high humidity present in the vicinity of the rearing house. So the bacterial disease causing heavy loss and damage to the silkworm larvae and leading into the death of large number of silkworm larvae, ultimately resulting into reduction in the yield of cocoons. Or simply the silkworm larvae which are suffering from bacterial flacheri or the diseases, they produce abnormal cocoons, that is small sized or flimsy cocoons can also be produced by the abnormal larvae. So the bacterial disease leads to heavy toll or loss of the silkworms together with a loss of crop in the form of cocoon, and the bacterial disease usually occurs due to the high humidity in the region or in the surrounding area of the rearing house. The spread or the infection of the bacterial flacheri or disease occurs mainly due to the consumption of contaminated leaves. So, contaminated mulberry leaves can lead to the infection of the silkworms. So, the mulberry leaves can be contaminated with the spores of the bacteria, and such contaminated leaves, when consumed by the silkworm larvae, leading into the infection of bacterial disease. Mostly larvae are infected by bacterial disease. So The main sufferer of bacterial disease are the larvae or the caterpillars or the silkworm larvae of the Bombyx mori. Symptoms of the bacterial disease includes loss of appetite. So whenever there is infection of the variety of bacteria, leading into the reduction in feeding, decrease of feeding, that is due to loss of appetite. Then ultimately this results into slow growth, then vomiting, body rotting, and the dead bodies becomes black or green in color. So these are the some of the symptoms of bacterial disease: loss of appetite, slow growth or stunted growth, vomiting, body rotting, and the body becomes black or green, that is a discoloration of the larvae due to the bacterial disease. For the control of disease, we can employ some measures, that is selection of disease resistant strain or race or the variety of the silkworms. So disease resistant variety can prevent the infection of these bacteria. So selection of disease resistant strain or the variety is one of the remedy or measure to avoid the infection of bacteria. Then proper incubation of eggs. So while incubation of the eggs in the rearing house or in the incubators, we'll have to take the care of disease-free conditions and provision of the required temperature, humidity, air or ventilation in the rearing room or the incubator, so that eggs could develop into a larvae in a disease-free condition, provided the optimum parameters of the incubation. That is proper incubation of the eggs, and thirdly, good rearing conditions. If we are maintaining the disease-free condition, cleanliness or hygienic conditions, disease-free conditions, or proper ventilation, good feeding, all cleaning, bed changing, if all these activities, if maintained and managed properly in the rearing house, this will ultimately lead into the prevention or avoiding the infection of these bacteria. So good rearing conditions also prevents the infection of these bacteria. Then fourth type of disease, that is viral disease. So among the viral diseases, there are again two type of viral diseases. One is viral Grasserie and second is viral Flaceri. So first we'll explain about viral Grasserie. It is also called as jaundice, and this viral Flaceri is caused due to the infection of nuclear polyhedrosis virus. So nuclear polyhedrosis virus NPV is the causative agent. NPV, nuclear polyhedrosis virus, is the causative agent of the viral disease or a Grasserie or the jaundice in the silkworms. In this case also, mostly larvae get infected by the viruses than the adults. The infection occurs mainly through the oral ingestion or the consumption of the contaminated leaves. So, the mode of infection is again through the oral ingestion or the consumption of the contaminated leaves. When these viruses getting entry into the alimentary canal or the gut, releasing the viral rods. So, whenever there is entry of viruses, nuclear polyhedrosis virus, that is nuclear polyhedrosis virus, when getting entry in the gut or alimentary canal through oral ingestion along with the contaminated mulberry leaves, leading into the entry of virus in the alimentary canal, and when these viruses pass in the gut or in the intestine, there is viral rods get free or released from the viruses. These viral rods then infects the midgut cells. So these viral rods of the virus then infecting or getting entry into the midgut cells, and where they grow and multiply rapidly. So the NPV virus, nuclear polyhedrosis virus, which is causing viral grasserie or jaundice, getting entry into the alimentary canal through the contaminated mulberry leaves, and when this respective virus getting entry in the intestine, ultimately the outer coat of the virus get dissolved and viral rods set free in the lumen of gut, from where these viral rods infecting the midgut cells, and on entry of these viral rods in the midgut cells, they grow and multiply in the midgut cells. Then after its multiplications, whenever these viral rods get multiplied, then acquires the protein coat and becomes a polyhedra. So this polyhedra or polyhedrosis virus getting entry in an intact condition in the alimentary canal, then protein coat present around get dissolved by the action of digestive juices in the gut of silkworms, and from where these viral rods getting entry into the midgut cells, and from midgut cells where they feed or grow and multiply in a large number of viral rods, and these viral rods then acquire the protein coat and become a NPV or polyhedrosis virus. The symptoms of viral grasserie or disease or jaundice are the swelling of segments. So there is a swelling of segments of silkworm larvae, then body wall or the skin or integument ruptures easily, then they also shows vomiting, then flimsy cocoons. So the larvae become abnormal due to the viral grasserie or jaundice, and such abnormal larvae or diseased larvae can produce the cocoon which are having loose and thin cells. Loose and thin celled cocoons are produced, called as flimsy cocoons, are produced by the silkworm larvae which are suffering from viral disease, a grasserie or a jaundice. So for the control of the viral grasserie, again we can employ a selection of disease resistant strain or race or the variety of the silkworm Bombyx mori, and avoid the injury while handling larvae. So we'll have to take care of handling of the silkworms, and there should not be injury formed in a diseased or infected larvae. So these are two measures for the control of viral grasserie or jaundice. One, that is selection of disease resistant variety of the silk moth or silkworms, together with avoiding injury to the silkworm larvae or infected larvae while handling them. Then viral flachere. Since there are two type of viral diseases, one is viral grasserie, which already we have explained, that is the jaundice or grasserie, viral grasserie caused due to nuclear polyhedrosis virus, NPV, nuclear polyhedrosis virus, and uh, this grasserie, uh, that is a jaundice, and secondly a viral flachere. So this is again a flachere, viral flachere, similar to bacterial flachere, only the causative agent is different. In bacterial flachere, the causative agent of flachere are bacteria, and in viral flachere, the causative agent are the viruses. So the symptoms of the viral flachere are again more or less similar to the bacterial flachere, that is flaccid condition of the larvae, and showing vomiting, diarrhea, flaccid condition, then loss of appetite, stunted growth. So these are the formation of abnormal cocoons or flimsy cocoons. So these are the some of the important symptoms formed in the silkworm Bombyx mori, irrespective of the causative agent. So causative agent may be bacteria, may be fungi, may be viruses, may be protozoans, but the symptoms observed are more or less similar. So now we'll explain the viral flacheri. So viral flacheri, it is again caused due to the polyhedral and non-polyhedral viruses. So there are two type of viruses, that is polyhedral viruses and non-polyhedral viruses, and which includes infectious flacheri, cytoplasmic polyhedrosis, and the Kenchu disease of the silkworms. So there are three type of viral flacheri. There are three type of viral flacheri or flacid conditions found among the silkworms are produced due to the infection of polyhedral and non-polyhedral viruses. So we'll explain these three type of viral flacheri, that is infectious viral flacheri, cytoplasmic polyhedrosis, and the Kenchu disease, one by one. First, infectious flacheri. So the causative agent of the infectious flacheri is infectious flacheri virus type 1. Infectious flacheri virus type 1. The mode of infection of this virus is again through a oral ingestion or consumption of the contaminated leaves. So mulberry leaves which are contaminated with the infectious flacheri virus type 1, when getting entry into the gut or in the alimentary canal of the silkworms, leading into infectious flacheri and resulting into the symptoms such as vomiting of digestive fluid, transparent larval body, that is a flaccid condition, and sometimes the larval body shows shrinkage, constriction or the shrinkage of the body due to the infection of infectious virus type 1, resulting into infectious flacheri. And the symptoms of the infectious flacheri are vomiting of digestive fluid, transparent larval body, and sometimes it shows the body shrinkage. So this is about the infectious flacheri. Then secondly, the cytoplasmic polyhedrosis. Similar to the nuclear polyhedrosis virus, there is a cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus. So, cytoplasmic polyhedrosis is caused due to the infection of pathogen, namely cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus. So, when such cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus contaminate the mulberry leaves and the feces, so the larvae, silkworm larvae, which are suffering from cytoplasmic polyhedrosis, may release the cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus along with the fecal matter or the feces also, so that can contaminate the mulberry leaves in the feed bed or the floor bed. So feeding trays or feed bed can be contaminated by the fecal matter of the deceased worms suffering from cytoplasmic polyhedrosis. So ultimately, the cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus can be released along with the feces, and that will again contaminate the mulberry leaves. So when such contaminated mulberry leaves or the feces containing this virus causing infection of the fresh or disease-free silkworms or the caterpillars, and resulting into the symptoms such as stunted growth, then prolonged larval lifespan. There is the extension of larval lifespan due to the infection of the cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus. So symptoms includes stunted growth. The growth is stopped due to the infection, Then there is a prolongation of the larval lifespan. Then midgut or the alimentary canal or intestine become opaque and pale yellow and discharge whitish feces and discharge whitish feces with a polyhedra. So ultimately the fecal matter containing polyhedra which are causing secondary infections of the silkworm larvae in the feed bed, since contaminating or spoiling the feed beds due to the release of the feces containing these polyhedra. So this is about the cytoplasmic polyhedrosis. Cytoplasmic polyhedrosis caused due to cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus, which is getting entry into the silkworm gut or alimentary canal through the oral ingestion or the consumption of contaminated mulberry leaves containing these cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus in the feces. So there are symptoms: stunted growth, prolonged larval life, midgut become opaque and pale yellow, and release or discharge whitish feces with a polyhedra. Then third type of viral flachere, that is Kenchu disease. So Kenchu disease, that is third type of viral flachere caused due to a pathogen called as Kenchu virus. This Kenchu virus also getting entry into the silkworm larvae through the oral ingestion of contaminated leaves. So through the consumption of the contaminated mulberry leaves, the Kenchu virus can get entry into the gut of the silkworm larvae. And this results into the symptoms of the Kenchu disease such as dullness. So larvae become sluggish or inactive or dull. Then paleness with large head of larvae. Paleness with a large head of larvae. So the larvae grows abnormally. The larvae grows abnormally and the head become large. The head become large and pale, then also showing stunted or retarded growth and dead larvae with the brown patches. So on the surface or the skin, on the surface of the skin, there is formation of brown patches which are occurring onto the diseased worms suffering from Kenchu disease. Then infected larvae produce small and flimsy cocoons. So larvae, whenever suffering from this type of viral flachere, that is Kenchu disease, they won't die. They will not die, but there is a stunted growth or growth will be stopped, and such a small rest or the abnormal larvae can spin the cocoon, but the cocoons are of small size and the cocoons are a flimsy cocoons, irregular cocoons, flaccid cocoons. These are having very thin silk threads which can't be reeled mechanically or with the use of machinery, and such flimsy cocoons are produced by the silkworm larvae suffering from the Kenchu disease. So overall, there are three type of viral flachere resulting into resulting into the flaccid conditions and showing variety of symptoms irrespective of the pathogen, that is virus type, but the symptoms can lead into a serious loss or damage to the silkworm larvae, resulting into the various kind of symptoms together with abnormal growth, and can also produce the uh, poor quality cocoons. So cocoons produced by such infected larvae can spin the cocoon, but the cocoons are of poor quality. So this is about the bacterial disease and the viral disease. So already we have explained four type of important diseases among the silkworms, that is First protozoan disease pebrine, causing dysentery or vomiting type of symptoms and causing heavy loss of the larvae. Then secondly, the fungal disease called as muscardine. There are again several type of muscardine. There are about 8 type of muscardine, but among which only white muscardine, yellow muscardine and green muscardine and the uh, brown muscardine, brown, that is aspergillosis. So these are the 4 type of muscardine or the fungal diseases are important and causing the heavy loss or damage of the silkworm larvae. Then thirdly, the bacterial diseases. So among bacterial diseases, that is again caused due to the bacteria. There are 7 different type of bacteria and causing 3 type of bacterial diseases, that is Soto disease, septicemia and the Rangi disease. So 3 type of bacterial diseases can occur in the silkworm larvae and leading into the heavy loss or damage of the silkworm larvae resulting into the reduction in the yield or the production of the cocoons. Then viral Grasserie or jaundice. So nuclear polyhydrosis virus, that is NPV, which cause the viral Grasserie or a jaundice, and this is due to the infection of the NPV or virus when getting entry through the contaminated mulberry leaves in the gut of silkworms that reaches to the lumen of gut where the protein coat present around get dissolved and viral rods get free. So after this release of these viral rods, they infect the midgut cells and reaching into the cytoplasm where they grow and multiply into the large number of viral rods, and these viral rods then acquires a protein coat and becomes a polyhedra. So this will also lead into the several symptoms, abnormalities in the silkworms, that is swelling of segments, easy rupture of skin, vomiting, flimsy or loose thin celled cocoons can be produced by the diseased worms which are suffering from the viral Grasserie or a jaundice. And finally, the viral flachere, that is a flacid condition caused due to 2 type of viruses, that is polyhedral virus and the non-polyhedral virus, and it includes infectious flachere, cytoplasmic polyhedrosis and the Kenchu disease of the silkworms. So there are 3 type of viral flachere: infectious flachere, cytoplasmic polyhedrosis, and Kenchu disease, which are caused due to infectious flachere virus type 1, then cytoplasmic polyhedrosis virus, and the Kenchu virus respectively. All these pathogens or the viruses causing 3 type of viral flachere getting entry into the gut of the silkworms along with the contaminated mulberry leaves. So mulberry leaves, when get contaminated with the viruses, may be released by the silkworms along with the feces that can contaminate the feed bed, and ultimately contaminated mulberry leaves can be consumed or eaten up by the normal larvae and can lead into the infection of these 3 kind of viruses and resulting into the series of symptoms, that is vomiting of digestive fluid, transparent larval body, sometimes showing shrinkage that happens in case of infectious flagella. Then stunted growth, prolonged life of larval life, then midgut become opaque and pale yellow and discharging the whitish feces containing polyhedra. And this type of symptoms occurring or produced in a cytoplasmic polyhedrosis, that is a viral flachere. And in Kenchu disease, the symptoms are dullness, paleness with a large head of larvae, retarded or stunted growth, then dead larvae with brown patches, infected larvae produce small and flimsy cocoons. So these are the symptoms of the viral flacheri. So today we'll stop here. Next time we'll explain the silkworm pest, that is dermestid beetle and Uji fly, together with number of other enemies, that is ants, lizards, birds, rats, etc. So today we'll stop here. So we have now explained about four type of diseases, that is protozoan disease, fungal disease, bacterial disease and the viral diseases. So there are four type of diseases caused due to four different type of pathogens, leading into the death of larvae or producing serious symptoms in the larvae, and can reduce the cocoon production, that is the ultimate loss of the sericulturist or the farmer. So thus, so as to avoid these infections, we'll have to take care of all the activities uh, which are to be performed in the rearing house while rearing of the silkworms in the rearing house, that is feeding, uh, bed changing, cleaning, then ventilation, temperature, humidity, space. So all type of parameters should be provided optimally in the rearing house, so that we can prevent this infection and can have the disease-free growth, the normal growth of the silkworms in the rearing house, and the ultimate result of which is in the form of good quality and quantity of the cocoons after harvesting or at the end of the sericultural practice, will get its result in the form of good quality and quantity of the cocoons uh, in the practice of sericulture. So today we'll stop here, and remaining, that is different type of pest or predators and the natural enemies of the silkworm larvae, which are also attacking the silkworms, that we will explain next time. Thank you.